All righty, let's try this again. How's the sound this time? Let's see how the sound is. There we go. How's the sound? How's the sound? Cool. How's the sound? Cool. All righty. So, anyway, I'm back from a meeting that I was mistaken about the purpose of it. I thought it was discussing law when it was really only discussing curriculum. And no, as a matter of fact, I haven't had a chance to. How about we just look at that right now? How about we just look at that right now? Let me see what's going on here. Nothing. What's going on here? Come on, look at Facebook. Okay, where is it? I just got a notification that somebody had responded to something that I said, and I can't even find my comment, which was his. So fuck it. That's the only thing going on there. So we're going to. Oh, nice. Fucking Kiwi Farms isn't letting me log out. Wonderful. Shit. So I logged in there only to inform them of what Dia had informed us of last night and give them the screen. And they totally don't give a fuck. They're good. Wonderful. They're going to make the whole thread about me instead. I'm out of there. And Sneasel's he's such a fucking hateful asshole. He has to make up stupid shit to satisfy his agenda that just has no resemblance to what happened tonight. I only spoke very briefly because there was only one point that I felt, it was either talk about all of it or just this one thing that was so very important, is the happiness. They're all talking about children, letting children be children. And what they're really saying is, let us have our children so that we can force them into the gender role we think they should be in. That's not letting children be children. And that's what leads to all the unhappiness and horrible things that happen to transgender children that they end up doing to themselves because their parents hate them. And the parents think they're loving them. They say, oh, we're doing this because we love you. And we're looking back at them and say, well, I don't think I want that kind of love. I just want to be myself. Why the fuck do I have to get a buzz cut all the time? Why can't I grow my hair out? What's the matter with that? I have such beautiful hair. I did. Why can't I wear the clothes I like? Well, because you're a boy, and those are girl clothes. So that's a bunch of bullshit that humanity needs to get over. Are you guys going to let me log out of here? The fuck? Oh, good. I'm not logged in. I don't want to be logged in. I don't even want this site open. Actually, that's an interesting question, quadriplegic champions. What the curriculum included was things that the parents and children both need to know. And it's really my feeling that a class like they're talking about should be the parents and children together. But certainly, I believe that by the psychology books all talk about how gender identity is forming between the ages of 3 and 6. Well, this is the age when people like myself are trying to convince our parents that we're not what they think we are. And by the time we're in school, we've already got fears that have been imprinted on us for having the feelings that we have and acting the way that we act. And I think that by the 3rd grade or so, when they start teaching kids about what sex and gender is, I remember them talking about stuff like that when I was while I was still in the primary grades. And I think in the primary grades, it's important for kids to learn. And their parents need to be taught this more than the kids, because the kids don't seem to care until the parents tell them to. Is that sex and gender are not hard bound to each other. The only thing binary about the human condition is the sex and of the gametes. After that, there's just too much variation to say, oh, well, you're either a man or a woman, because there's so much in between. And really what it comes down to is quite natural for people to be trans feminine or trans masculine to a degree. And this is not pathological. This is normal human thought processes. There is no such thing as a male or female brain. There are various centers within the brain that are associated with gendered behavior that they found differences in. They have found genes that are connected to gendered behavior and to same-sex attraction. They found these things. And more important is that the clinical studies that are being done are showing clearly that when you raise a transgender child in a supportive environment, they perform across the board equally well or superior to their cisgender classmates in behavioral health parameters and in scholastic aptitude. So it should be real clear by this time that the science is supporting this transgender agenda. The science is saying that we're legitimate humans. When there are court rulings, the judges are saying that our natural born minority, the rights of my being, trump any sincerely held religious belief that wants to discriminate against me just because I'm a trans masculine male. This is not the way America works. There wasn't enough time. There wasn't enough time. And I just felt like I needed to focus on the happiness of the children in the family. Because my family has suffered my entire life because of them just not knowing that it's okay for a girl to have a penis. What the fuck is wrong with girls who have penises and boys who have vaginas? Before Judeo-Christian imperialism, most societies thought we were special and make us into priests and shit. So I want to go and take a quick look at what autists send me. Oh, and I have really bad news for the trolls. My phone won't even ring if the number is blocked. Namaste, motherfuckers. If you'd like to call me, here's the number. You're going to need to use, if you can't use your own number, you're going to need to use one of them Google VoIP numbers and take your chances on how long I'm going to put up with your nonsense. So I'm going to go take a look at autist stuff. Okay, I don't have one open. That's why I can't find it. There's no way I'm going to stay on real long tonight either. I'm tired. I haven't been getting anywhere near enough sleep. Molly from my stream. Oh. Hmm. Oh, I think I'm just going to call Molly. Okay, let's see if there's any other mail I need to look at. What's this? Oh.
video, victim of Kiwi Farms. These national trolls, they're a terrorist group. I've got the FBI on the horn. But I don't just have the FBI on the horn, now do I? No, I don't. And if the FBI refuses to deal with the members of Kiwi Farms, then I will go around the FBI. I'm pretty sure that I can get help with this if the FBI is derelict in their duties. If the FBI goes dink on me over this, then you know who I'm going to call, right? Oh, he's just waiting. Don't fuck this up, FBI. He's lying in wait, and he doesn't care because you have offended. I mean, FBI, I know you're powerful, and I want you, but you stood by and allowed this troll group to get away with this.
Hi, Sean.
You knew all about it.
Oh, yeah, I did.
You know all about me, FBI. You understand? You know what those trolls fucking do. You're over there monitoring it, FBI. You know what it's done to me, FBI. Just like all these other innocent victims of Kiwi Farms. Have you seen their roster, the list of people they target, FBI? Do you know what this group is? And you have not designated them a terrorist group? Because that's all it is going to take. The second you designate Kiwi Farms as a terrorist group, or you know for a fact are not active participants, but you will absolutely do it around every person who stated net threat. They will be labeled terrorists, and they will be dealt with accordingly.
Yeah, fact to that.
They don't want that, do they?
No.
No, they don't.
No.
But it's too late, because even if they stop attacking me, they've got plenty of other victims, and I just don't feel like I can walk away from this, even if I could, and the opportunity is presented to me. That I mean, and again, Kiwi Farms did offer to take the thread down if I revoked my copyright strike, and I told them to go fuck themselves, because you know what? Even if they're not taking me on, they're still going after a lot of other innocent people, and those people are truly helpless. I'm not. I'm helpless against law enforcement, just like everybody else. I can't resist it. I'm not allowed. It's in the rules. There's rules about how I have to be with the police, but there's also consequences if they, because of this rule, because I'm not allowed to resist the police, because I have to cooperate with the police. If they hurt me, they have to fix it, because I'm helpless to resist them, and they know it.
Yeah. There's a link to the channel of who's talking.
Because of this.
I'm not sure what her story is yet.
They were careless with me, and I was badly hurt, and my life is in real danger. And the cops know this. Because I'm essentially always in police custody, even if they don't put their hands on me. You all should know this. And they use me a lot of times because people just tell me shit. Oh, I'm real good at getting, I mean, you would not believe the shit I uncover. And the police are always there. They use me as bait. I'm a long, cool woman in a black dress right now. That's the significance of the Holly song, Long, Cool Woman in a Black Dress. What was she doing? Listen to the lyrics. Everybody knows the song. Oh, that's my fucking life, guys. So, bearing this in mind, if you are a victim of Kiwi Farms, I want to invite you to comment here on this video, like and share. Spread the word. This video needs to go viral to everyone who has been a victim of Kiwi Farms. Come to my wall, Dana Marie King on Facebook. I'll see it. I don't have Messenger, I'm sorry. You can email me at 21kingdana@gmail.com. My wall, all of my correspondence, everything I do is monitored by the feds. And that's not a lie.
What was her fucking laugh?
Themselves because they honestly thought I was just like their other victims. they thought I was just like the other victims. I don't know how stupid these people
Yeah,
are.
I had
I don't know
to.
I don't know how they didn't notice that I stood out, that I was not like the other victims. I don't know how they missed it, but they did. And there were a lot of little mean
Wait a
girls.
minute, I'm gonna turn this off.
A lot of people that know me in real life that
I forgot what I was saying. What was her last name at Facebook? Does anybody remember exactly what her name was? I only got her first and middle name and then lost the last name. I was going to send her a friend request. Kane? I do believe this is her. Yeah, these people are trying to, talk about what a decrepit, stinky old hobo that everybody hates I am. And people look, and yeah, I live in a really fucking sloppy environment. It's an artist studio. It's to be expected. Uh, but I don't, I keep my body and my clothing pretty clean. Now I like to smell good. I don't like the worst smell I have on me is like too much tobacco. I mean, even if I haven't showered for a day, I don't get all stinky and sweaty sitting here. uh, and what's really nice is when I noticed a few months back that when I did get stinky and sweaty, I didn't smell like a guy anymore. That made me happy. Lots of little things make me happy. The fuck, just people out of like lady next door was talking on the telephone, and I was telling her something, and she was talking, and she referred to me as the lady next door. Thank you. And then I'm not trying to pretend to be a woman. I'm a transmasculine male. I'm not transsexual. I'm not anything. This is the way I was fucking born. Deal with it. I've learned how to, and I live in a town that accepts me for what I am. And I'm on social networks that are just, I mean, I'm not, nothing goes viral. And if I get 10 likes on something, it's like, okay, that's cool. People have been reading it. Because if I got 10 likes, that means at least 100 people read it. You know, most people are just reading it and keeping going. They're not stopping to like or share or anything. It's like, okay. Especially professionals, they're scanning for particular shit. They're not going to stop and get into arguments with idiots. Yeah, and it's something I realized about 2010, somewhere in there. I looked at myself at thoughts.com, and I see the whole board lit up with hate threads against me. There'd be like 10, 20 hate threads on the board. You couldn't even see anything else but why I hate Tommy. And I realized that, you know, I got a lot of like respect from other trolls for like shredding these people. I mean, they come at me and I just shred them, just totally shred them. No, it was like, who could be the most vulgar and nasty? Well, you lose, man. I'm gonna get worse than you every fucking time. And I get them 10, 20 at a time. And along about 2010, I realized, wait a minute, I'm alienating the people I want to reach with the indie media and news and politics, you know, because that's where I'm coming from, and that's where I've always been. When I took it down the road, I was Real Things was the umbrella, but my thing at that time was called TRAMP, Transient American Project, and one of my tables was always full of political literature. And otherwise, you know, and you know, one thing I'd like to talk about a little bit tonight, if anybody's interested, is the difference between a rainbow hippie and the rainbow family. Because I noticed that somebody, you know, I said this recently a few times, appointments I canceled. I canceled them. I needed to prepare for tonight, make sure I had clean clothes, my clean body, and my head, and it's a good thing. I've never been around that much contempt, fear, and loathing for me in this town before. I had to walk. There were too many people inside. I mean, there were too many people there, everybody inside. And outside was mostly Latin families, angry. Just me walking down to go get my water. The first time I walked into the bathroom, there were 3 girls in there and they ran out immediately. Oh, watch out for a tranny in the bathroom. Well, I prefer to say trans feminine person. You know, I'm not operative. I'm not a man or a woman. I have a feminine personality, you know, feminine being and male bits, and call it what you want. That's what it is. This is how I was born. And my body has always been what's called gender ambiguous, with the secondary sexual characteristics leaning toward the female. I always had like little hips and little boobs and real smooth legs. That's me. You know, and here's fucking Sneasel, a self-professed angry giant. He's this stupid shit. Here, let me read this crap to you. This is just pure crap. Where the fuck was it? Where the fuck was it? Oh, they collect my word salad insults. Let's go back to the page. Here, let me read the introduction. And I believe Sneasel wrote this introduction. Tommy Tudor, born Thomas J. Wasserberg, also known as Tommy Jane Wasserberg and Tommaso Wasserberg, is a self-proclaimed androgyne and MTF tranny hippie who is also allegedly a member of the Rainbow Family. He has been actively trolled since at least 1999 and even earlier. No, it started in 1999. I wasn't online enough before 1999 to get trolled. And actually, it was a while. It was really, I wasn't getting like seriously trolled until 2005 when I discovered the right wing sex slaving operation hiding behind the fucking board. That's when the trolling started. Note that one, Antifa fans. That's when the fucking trolling started, was at scam.com. And so anyway, moving right along. Have an internet presence as far back as the early 1990s, according to old Usenet logs that were discovered. My very first post will probably never be dredged out because it was made from an X386 machine that belonged to a defense contractor company called Fiber Optics from his house. And it was just a simple graphic, because that's all you could really do was send text or a simple graphic at that time over slow modem. And it had a peace symbol, and above it said, "Peace works." Below it, "War sucks." That was my first post to the internet. It would probably never be dug out. And because I just described it, somebody might go and reproduce it and claim it. "Oh, we found it. We found it." The fuck you did. Anyway, the log that they're talking about was one particular one in 19. Actually, there were a few in the 90s. There was something called the Focalizers Quarterly that was being published by a fellow named Peter Fratergaeus, who was an Apple developer and fonts. He's a calligrapher, and he was doing fonts. And he was one of two of the main cyber family focalizers, himself and Rob Savoye, Savoye. Now, if people want to go digging real deep for an interesting character, try finding Rob Savoye and Hacker Manifesto in the same file. Rumor is the FBI approached Rob and told him he was going to either work for them or go to jail. And Rob is the main communications specialist for the Drainbow. Now let's back up then. Oh well, okay, that was, yeah. See, we'll save that for later. I was talking about the difference between a rainbow hippie and a rainbow and a rainbow family. YouTube lags. YouTube's got at least a 10 or 15, at least a 5-second lag to it. When I go and check my sound for Chipmunk, it's usually lagging real good. Here, I'll turn the other one on so you can hear it. Where is it? All right. So anyway, I'm back from a meeting that I was mistaken about the purpose of it. I thought it was discussing a law. That seriously lagged. I don't know how that happened. When it was really only discussing curriculum. And Scholastic Gap 2. Oh, that's real clear. That's weird. That's real weird. That was from the. It was like. It started from where I stopped it instead of where it was right now. That was strange. Yeah, it's about a 30-minute lag there. Oh. Oh, that's right. Those guys were there. Of course, you probably know. I'm Hidalgo. If you could be here. Yeah, I haven't had my medicine today. I need to do that. I got when I cleaned my studio, things, one he's talking about, wow, I was listening to the broom and the size of the debris and yeah. It was an art studio. And junky, just where it is, the way it is. It When we go to clean something like this out, we just kind of like move everything away from, move everything to the wall or something, or into the middle of the room, and then sweep everything up into a big pile somewhere else. Was what I started to do, and then like the phone calls and text threats started, and it got like stopped. And I doubt if I'm going to be able to even get to it over the weekend, because this is Woodstock weekend, and like Fourth Avenue Association's got it blown out as a street party all weekend, and I don't think it's a special event, kind of a thing where I'm going to need any kind of sort of permit. It's just going to be Fourth Avenue celebrating Woodstock. So when they announced that, I in the top comment, it was like, I'm going to be out there in all of my usual spots, and bring an axe and we'll jam. Okay. I don't need to do. I always smile. Oh, are you here in town? Oh, is this Molly? Molly from Facebook, Molly? You gonna actually get down here? That'd be good. I'm looking forward to it. I've been wanting to meet you. And wow. I hope that is. I hope to see you. What pirate thing? Oh, this? I like it too. I like this too. I need more hair though. I have no trouble passing as a female person, and I really have no idea what portion of the public is seeing me as a cis female. And thank you, Molly. I have no idea. Tucson is just so trans friendly that hardly anybody reacts to me in any way at all, as far as like seeing me as being out of the ordinary. But then Tucson doesn't react to people who are walking around just looking out of the ordinary. You got to really act out, get people it's amazing how Tucsonans can tune everything else out to like focus on their phones as they're walking down the street, or focus on a conversation with somebody and just totally be oblivious to everything else going on around them. I finally got some peace just by turning off. I set the phone to block all restricted numbers. They know how to get hold of a number, but I'm not answering any blocked numbers anymore. And too bad for the cops, and too bad for Timmy Time. I don't even know if Timmy Time's still alive. He's made me too many promises over the years that he never followed through on. Yeah, so I'm not really worried about. I hope he's doing well and all, but he was always afraid to open himself right all the way up to me, and never called on a real line. And I have no idea where he is or what he's doing. So anyway, back to the difference between a rainbow hippie and how many phone numbers have I gone through? I had one in Austin that I had here for a while, and then I finally got one here, and that's the one I have. And then I got one of Obama phone things, freebie from QLeak that has a different number. What I need to do is get a number assigned to my Hangout, so I don't have to like invite people to call an email address. I can give them a phone number to dial. I saw how to do it the other day. I just didn't have time or desire to fuck with it at that particular moment. So what do you guys want to talk about? It's too late for me to play music. And I don't really have any funny stories available. I need you guys to be talking to come up with funny stories. Oh, here's if we got to do funny stories, we might as well read this funny story from Newsweek. And the opinions of Scott Elliott and his friends about the funny story. That makes a funny story in itself. Scott Elliott is an interesting character. I met in the I met he was trolling. He's a deacon in the Episcopal Diocese of Chicago, former caseworker for the Social Service Department of the Circuit Court, former addiction counselor. Pretty much, he's a religious man that worked around the Episcopal Diocese and government agencies in Cook and Lake County. And he's into Miskatonic University. I didn't know that, Scott. For those of you who don't know what Miskatonic University is, and he studied occult sciences at the Miskatonic University Department of Forbidden Sciences. Cool. I didn't know that about him. But he's a deacon. He's a church man. I'm not sure exactly what he's wearing the robes and shit, and he's up there, in his pictures. Real nice fellow, and very, very intelligent, and he's not getting rude, crude, offensive, and profane is not beneath his dignity. So anyway, here's Scott's. What the fuck happened? Oh, shit! Now I lost. There it is. I lost the thread. So we'll read. It's a Newsweek article entitled "Its Opinion" by Tom Phillips. Let's find out who Tom Phillips is. Tom looks like he's under 35, and let's find out about Tom Phillips. Before I even tell you the title, we're going to talk about Tom Phillips a little bit, find out what kind of a person he is. There's an argument over whether this article is being accused of being right-wing propaganda. We'll get to that when we get into the comments section. And then on the other side, it's come on, give me this. I want to see who this guy is, man, before I even fucking start reading it. Because I've been watching this story develop for a couple of days. Shit. Fucking machine is taking too long to open stuff. Come on, man. What's this? Okay, I quit. Let's see if I can find him at Google. The article to give you some time. No, fuck it. I'm gonna keep. We're gonna run up the suspense. So anyway, we're gonna find out who this author is. Tom Phillips first. Is that our boy? He's from New York or from UK. York. Is this our boy? Doesn't seem to be. Tom Phillips Newsweek. Let's try Tom Phillips Newsweek. Could be, and this is just a geeky picture of him. Okay, here's his Twitter account. That's calls himself Flash Boy. And his pinned account, oh yeah, he is British. That is the dude. Okay, so he looks like a fuckwit, and a gay fuckwit at that. But I don't want. I'd hate to, like, you know, assume something like that. But he definitely looks like a fuckwit. You know, smart cracker, brilliantly his fastened here. Here's his review of his own book. My fast Hanover Square Press. Here's somebody's review of his book. A starred review from Self Awareness for Flash Boys Humans: A Brief History of How We Fucked It All Up. Yeah, this is probably a gay fuckwit. Okay, let's go. Lefty. He's left winger. I was writing this story, and the story by a left winger is Hitler was incompetent and lazy. And his Nazi government was an absolute clown show. As if we didn't know what this guy's like trying to paint here. But the reality of it is, and go Google Mussolini Trump, and you'll see that what we're looking at is the Italian fascist version. Not the German. They want to. And the other thing about the Italian fascist version, you need to get from the movie Catch-22, when with Nately and Nately's whore's father or grandfather talking about Italians and how they win by losing wars. It's wrong. It's totally wrong to compare Hitler and Trump and their administrations when it's really much more like Mussolini's. Okay, so I guess this is an excerpt from his book. Let's see how long it is, because I really don't want to read a lot of this fuckwit shit. Okay, it's not too bad. Look, I know what you're thinking. Putting Hitler in a book about the terrible mistakes we've made as a species isn't exactly the boldest move ever. Oh, wow, never heard of him. What a fascinating historical nugget. It's something you're probably not saying right now. But beyond him being obviously a genocidal maniac, there's an aspect to Hitler's rule that kind of gets missed in our standard view of him. Even if popular culture has long enjoyed turning him into an object of mockery, we still tend to believe that the Nazi machine was ruthlessly efficient and that the great dictator spent most of his time, well, dictating things. So it's worth remembering that Hitler was actually an incompetent, lazy egomaniac, and his government was an absolute clown show. In fact, this may have helped his rise to power, as he was consistently underestimated by the German elite. Hold on to that word, underestimated. Before he became chancellor, many of his opponents had dismissed him as a joke for his crude speeches and tacky rallies. Even after elections had made the Nazis the largest party in the Reichstag, people still thinking that Hitler was an easy mark, a blustering idiot who could easily be controlled by smart people, which is what happened. Which is also what's happening in Washington now. Why did the elites of Germany so consistently underestimate Hitler? Because they were stupid and like turned their back on Rothschild and their business associates. But that's a different story too. Possibly because they weren't actually wrong in their assessment of his competency. They just failed to realize that this wasn't enough to stand in the way of his ambition. He had to write backwards. They didn't even pull Edsel Ford out of Europe until like the week before they rolled on Ford truck parts into Poland. As it would turn out, Hitler was really bad at running a government. As his own press chief, Otto Dietrich, later wrote in his memoir, The Hitler I Knew, in the 12 years of his rule in Germany, Hitler produced the biggest confusion in government that has ever existed in a civilized state. His government was constantly in chaos, with officials having no idea what he wanted them to do, and nobody was entirely clear who was actually in charge of what. He procrastinated wildly and then asked to make difficult decisions and would often end up relying on gut feeling, leaving even close allies in the dark about his plans. His unreliability had those who worked with him pulling out their hair, as his confidant Ernst Hofstadel later wrote in his memoir, Zwischen Weißen und Braunem Paus. This meant that rather than carrying out the duties of the state, they spent most of their time infighting and backstabbing each other in an attempt to either win his approval or avoid his attention altogether, depending on what mood he was in that day. There's a bit, this is what you get for like putting megalomaniacs in charge of things. There's a bit of an argument among historians about whether this was a deliberate ploy on Hitler's part to get his own way, or whether he was really, really bad at being in charge of stuff. Dietrich himself came down on the side of being a cunning tactic to sow division and chaos. And it's undeniable that he was very effective at that. But when you looked at Hitler's personal habits, it's hard to shake the feeling that it was just a natural result of putting a work-shy narcissist in front of a country. Yeah, Hitler was incredibly lazy. He didn't even play golf. According to his aide, Fritz Wiedemann, even when he was in Berlin, he wouldn't get out of bed until after 11 a.m. and wouldn't do much before lunch other than read what the newspapers had to say about him, press cuttings being dutifully delivered to him by Dietrich. He was obsessed with the media and celebrity, and often seems to have viewed himself through that lens. He once described himself as the greatest actor in Europe and wrote to a friend, I believe my life is the greatest novel in world history. In many of his personal habits, he came across as strange or even childish. He would have regular naps during the day, he would bite his fingernails at the dinner table, and he had a remarkably sweet tooth that led him to eat prodigious amounts of cake and put so many lumps of sugar in his cup that there was hardly any room for the tea. Where is it? I treated myself to something tonight. What's your favorite kind of pie? There it is. Johnny Gibson's had mini pies, little mini pies. And I got me one. Coconut cream. That's my, it's tough for me, two different pies I like. You know, fuck them fruit pies. I like the coconut cream and I like the Boston cream best. And then probably, I don't know, after that, any fruit pie is cool. You can keep the pumpkin pie. Okay, so where were we? Oh, here we go. He was deeply insecure about his own lack of knowledge, preferring to either ignore information that contradicted his preconceptions or to lash out at the expertise of others. He hated being laughed at, but enjoyed it when other people were the butt of the joke. He would perform mocking impressions of people he disliked. He was talking about Pocahontas and Sleepy Joe this afternoon. But he also craved the approval of those he disdained, and his mood would quickly improve if a newspaper wrote something complimentary about him. Little of this was especially secret or unknown at the time. It's why so many people failed to take Hitler seriously until it was too late, dismissing him as merely a half-mad rascal or a man with a beery vocal organ. In a sense, they weren't wrong. In another much more important sense, they were as wrong as it possibly gets. Hitler's personal failings didn't stop him having an uncanny instinct for political rhetoric that would gain mass appeal. And it turns out you don't actually need to have a particular competent or functional government to do terrible things. We tend to assume that when something awful happens, there must have been some great controlling intelligence behind it. It's understandable. How could things have gone so wrong, we think, if there wasn't an evil genius pulling the strings? The downside of this is that we tend to assume that if we can't immediately spot an evil genius, then we can all chill out a bit because everything will be fine. Okay. But history suggests that that's a mistake. And it's one that we make over and over again. Many of the worst man-made events that have ever occurred were not the product of evil geniuses. Instead, they were a product of a parade of idiots and lunatics incoherently flailing their way through events, helped along the way by overconfident people who thought they could control them. And now we can go back and pull back up that word I told you to hold on to. Overestimate, which is the key to Dunning-Kruger syndrome. That's the key symptom of Dunning-Kruger syndrome. It's that somebody who has like swallowed a lie whole, believes it with their heart, they're now ready to kill to defend that lie. And they overestimate their own competence, while at the same time underestimate the competence of anybody else claiming authority over this matter. That's Dunning-Kruger syndrome. And being what I am, I'm a two-spirit person. And this is not a self-designation. This is what my Indian native friends call me. You know, you're a Winkte. Okay, thank you. There's a C type and an L type of Dunning-Kruger that the conservatives are believing certain lies, and the liberals are believing a different set of lies. And they're all overestimating their own competence while underestimating the competence of everybody else. And they're so deeply polarized that to stand anywhere in the center of all this, I'm not even sure where to say next about standing in the center between arguments. You know, okay, well, this is why this, you know, I'm saying to people that I am a second or third tier global trans advocate. You know, I don't even want to count how many there are. I don't know. I don't keep track of that. But I know that there's nearing this many pioneer trans women and men with that are in the top tier that I'm friends with and communicate with fairly regularly. And a whole mass appears at this level around me all over the world. And the consensus among us, among the more mature of the crowd, is that we want to drown out the ignorance with silence to the ones speaking the ignorance. We don't want to give them free publicity. Punch a Nazi is stupid. Yell at a Nazi is stupid. Even trying to rationally stand toe-to-toe with that person and debate them politely is counterproductive. Ignore them. Say they're wrong. Tell they're trying to turn the world against us. When we go toe-to-toe with them and start screaming at them on live TV, everybody's looking at it and thinking everybody's fucking idiots. Both sides are wrong. And both sides will always be wrong so long as violent discourse or actual physical violence is considered a valid form of conflict resolution. The humanity as a whole needs to learn how to treat other people like they want to be treated themselves. I mean, what the fuck is so hard about getting mad? There's nothing to debate there. How does it feel inside when you say something? How does it feel inside when somebody says something mean to you? Do you want to make that same feeling? That when somebody starts calling you a faggot or tranny and calling you a freak, you know inside yourself what that feels like. Now, why do you even want to do the same thing back to a cisgender heterosexual idiot? Why lower yourself to that person's level? Just shine them off and be what you are. Be your charming, witty self to your friend, your neighbors, your coworkers. We have a place in this world. We have cisgender heterosexual people who recognize that and support us in that. And in fact, in my experience and the experience of other transgender women, other late transition gender women coming out of the straight world into the LGBT world, are finding that some of their worst enemies are gay men and lesbians. That we get along better with religious fanatics than gay men and lesbians. What's up with that shit? I think on that note, I'm going to see who's saying what in the chat. Say hi to people. Okay, Molly, you're still with me. Cool. Cool. Okay, that's... You had an edible and you're higher than giraffe pussy. Cool. Oh, are you buddies with Terry Trash? Oh, Terry's around. Terry's been gigging. You know, the St. Charles over here. He had a gig over there a few weeks ago. Key lime pie is good. I like to keep. My mom made really good key lime pie with real key limes. Okay, so the question is, I don't believe in anything, Molly. Tommy, do you believe in spirits? Do you believe your loved ones can communicate with you from the other side? I do not believe. I know. I do not believe in God. I do not believe in the goddess. I know them both. They're what keeps me alive. My ancestors and the generations not yet born. Cool. Were you there for the train wreck? Hi, God's Dark Fist. How are you tonight? It's not a hat. It's just a babushka. I'm not even sure. Yeah, scarf. It's just a head wrap. Were you there with him when he got hit by the train? Wow. Yeah. I'll see if I can't dig him out for you. I think I know people that know how to get in touch with him. How long ago was that? I just met him a few years ago and never was very intimate with him. We've chatted a few times, but nothing real personal. I really don't want to stay on real late. I don't want to stay up late, but I get 12 years ago. Yeah, see, I've only been here 5. He used to hang out at the buffet all the time, and I lived right down the street from the buffet. That's how I met him. The other reason I didn't want to stay on is because I haven't eaten much. Pretty much all I've had since early this afternoon is half a can of Pringles. Oh boy. Did you know, what's the guy's name? The guy that wrote the Tone Loserville. It's the folk singer from the neighborhood. Shit. This guy's cool. They weren't able to. But it's okay because it's just an appointment. It was just a checkup. It's a wellness check for the insurance company. Really, the only reason I did it was because they're going to get $15 gift card for doing it. That and that I have, and they've already been bothering me to send it back. I have a colon. See that square box by the door? That's a colon cancer test kit. And I've had it way too long. I need to stick a swab up my butt and send it back to them. No, that's cool. I need that kind of friendship right now. It's like what's missing in my life. I've got everything else under control. I don't have anybody to give me the hugs and kisses and constructive criticism and hey, Tommy, did you know you still need to do that kind of shit? I don't have any family here. I have family, My mother and I struggled to, keep it together. My brother and I struggled to keep it together. My father and my sister. My father, I laid it to my mom today, as because my mother can't talk about me to my father because he hates me. Um, and he's fixated on the day I cleaned his clock. I only hit him once, but it busted his face. Um, and he's never gotten past that point. And like a week or two later, he attacked me on the front steps, and I put a move on him, and he busted his ankle. So he's fixated on that week in our lives. That was his. That's he's living in hell, and I'm his demon. As far as that goes. You're only 35. I'm not gonna say anything what just went through my mind when you just said that. And I'm not gonna say anything on stream why. But that, I am kind. I've been feeling a need for healing energy in your life. I don't want to embarrass you in public like that. We'll talk about it privately. I think you know where I'm coming from. But it's cool. We'll fix that. We'll fix that. We'll take care of it. What's your other account? Yeah, I think I do. What's your other account, Mkind? I think I do. If I don't, I know how to get it from you over at Facebook. IWD. I don't know. I don't know. I block so many people every day that I just don't even think about them again. It's not something that yeah. I don't want to think about anybody except other nice people that are going to be on this planet after it changes, because that's what's coming. You want to know what I think about spirits? I believe, I have studied. First of all, I don't believe anything. I'm either know it to be true, know it to be false, or know it to be like probably true or probably false. I do not believe anything. I know it is true, or I know it is false, or I know it is probably true, or I know it is probably false. That is as far as I'll go toward belief. IWD. I'm confused. I can't place you with anybody at Facebook. IWD. Oh, Al's friend, Grandma. Oh, different person. Okay. I don't know. I really don't know, because I don't. Once it happens, I ain't looking back. Yeah, but no, I remember Toby Blue. I don't think I have you blocked at Facebook. I remember the last time I looked, it was like, I think I want to talk to that character privately sometime. I'm happy to see you too. You were. I think that was why I wanted to talk to you privately. I wanted to find out more about what you were doing on the ground. It's like, this character is pretty interesting and very, very full of joy that they want to share. So I wanted to find out more about you. That's what I recall about the name. The name Toby Blue was like, let's take a closer look at that guy. But I was blocked a couple of times already this year, several times already this year. So my new people into my life, you'll notice that I only have a few hundred, not thousands of followers, and for a reason. I can't keep up with it. I don't even want to try and keep up with it. I'm an artist living my life. online. Okay? This is my studio. Come visit my studio and buy my shit. Come visit my studio and let me do aura tune-up on you. This is what I'm doing. Now, unfortunately, there has been so much external pressure on me from the trolling, and it's professional trolling. These people are not fucking around. That I haven't been able to get my studio in order, in such an order that somebody wants to come and walk in the door. So that's where we're at now, is trying to get this right here all around me that you can see on camera. That's where people come walking in the door. This is the security camera for the studio. And back here is going to be where the display of stones and minerals and the gemstones, and then I'll have like massage chairs that can be moved to various open spots anywhere. And then my keyboard is going to be right here on my left, on my right, and I'll have my saxophone and flutes over here. And this is my ground station. So there was a bot the other day. I tried to call Josh Moon over at Discord and left the call, and he never picked it up. And when I came back in the morning, there's this Clyde bot there telling me that he disconnected because bandwidth doesn't grow on trees. And it's comfortable. If I can ever get it in order, it's comfortable. It's very comfortable. My bedroom there's no furniture really in there. It's all sitting on pads and stuff on the floor. In here is nice office chairs. They're comfortable. No, there's no living room furniture here. This is a studio. And it's not what I would call spacious, but effective, efficient. It works. Kitchen, it works. It works. It's a little bit cramped, but it works. So I'm happy here. And the prices, it's $600 a month with utilities. I have to pay the utilities separate, so I got to watch the usage. But together, it's about $75 and $5.25. And then it cost me another $105 a month for my communications, and $22.50 for my transportation. What else are my fixed expenses? I think that's it. That might be it. Let's see. We got bus, internet, cell, rent, and electric. That's it. So what's that come to is that's $730. It leaves me $200 in my pocket off of my check to make it through the rest of the month. It's not too bad. If I can go out there and consistently make at least $15 an hour blowing my horn, I'm living a comfortable life. Good night, Molly. I'm definitely going to shoot you a text because I'm going to say what I wanted to say that I was too embarrassed to say in public. Sleep well. Happy day. So anyway, that's where we're at. You'll smoke to that. This is just some shitty tobacco. Well, I bet if I shut it down in the next 10 or 15 minutes, I'll still find you awake at Facebook. I'm probably going to do that. Toby, I don't know what's your other account? Toby Blue is your other account here? Well, let's play the rest of this thing. There's still got 2 more minutes. So let's see what else she
the,
had to
the
say.
issue with me, and they came and they targeted me at work. I mean, I need people who have been the victims of Kiwi Farms to tell their story so that people will know just how insidious and evil this group is, and that they've been involved in 3 mass shootings. Kiwi Farms has been involved in at least 3 mass shootings to my knowledge, and possibly more. How many crimes is this group guilty of? And the FBI is going to go in and shut it down, aren't you, FBI? Because if they don't, I got backup who will. And the FBI doesn't want to be embarrassed,
Uh-oh.
do you? No, you don't.
That's not a good thing to be saying. Who is this woman? You want to fuck with my First Amendment, true female liberation, all that and I can cook too. Knock it off, China. You're not helping. Chicago, you are really winning now. Try harder. Is that you, FBI? I'll hear something she did yesterday. Let's see what she's raving about now.
This shooting in Philadelphia is a direct attack on the police. And it is CIA directed.
Okay, she's totally deep state conspiracy whack, and it looks like she's not on meth because her teeth are in good shape.
I'm telling you, this is old CIA shit. These mass shootings. And if the CIA isn't responsible, they know who is, don't they? Y'all want a police state? Do you all want a police state, a true police state, martial law? Because that's what these shootings are meant to incite. Total societal breakdown. A cry for the police to come in and take over and keep everybody safe. That's what this is. And considering all these shootings going on right now, I mean, it's crazy. I'm staying off the fucking streets. You don't see me out running around. Because it's serious, isn't it? I have every reason to be concerned. But
okay,
anyway.
Fuck that. We were gonna go back to the Hitler thing because they're gonna bring it into Scott and his friends bring it into perspective to today's perspective. So let's go back to that. So here's sound familiar? So what are the exact mechanisms of this? I still don't know how to act. Fight Trump and his actions in every way you can. The way Hitler is described is exactly the way Trump has acted. My first comment was, this is no surprise, since our bozo-in-chief kept a book of his speeches on his nightstand, which immediately brought some rage from somebody who blocked me and blocked Scott. So my first response to this guy was, take it up with his ex-old lady, dude. The opinion of a brain-dead zombie wage slave about anything at all, even pizza toppings, is of no interest to me. And Scott came in right behind me with like the proof that his ex-old lady told business. I forget who she told. It was like CNN or something like that. Told that Trump kept a book of Hitler speeches on his bedstand. And then he also commented, having been fucked over quite thoroughly, I can see why Ivana might want to spread stories about the Donald. But of all the false things to say, wouldn't something considerably more mundane be a more likely lie? And then then he put up Snopes debunking of Donald Trump, saying that Mein Kampf had a profound effect on him. And my response to Scott was, that's apparently what's been going on. The Ivanka claim was legit, and the fools just didn't know any better, and the story got changed to Mein Kampf instead of the book that he actually read. Here's a pull quote from a Vanity Fair article. This is Scott again, a couple of years ago, which is in turn about a Vanity Fair article from 1990. And his blurb from it here, I'll give you the link to that so you can look at the whole thing. Wow, when I finish this, we'll go look at that. I saw, I caught wind of somebody else's, like, oh look, and there wasn't anything out to say there was a tweet or something about it, and that was it this morning. And I haven't seen anything yet that says exactly what went on. I haven't seen the actual story yet. But apparently in 1990 in Vanity Fair, when he was pressed on awkward topics such as whether or not he regularly read Hitler's speeches, he turned skittish and perhaps inventive. Last April, perhaps in the surge of Czech nationalism, Ivanka Trump told her lawyer, Michael Kennedy, that from time to time, her husband reads a book of Hitler's collected speeches, My New World Order, or My New Order, which he keeps in a cabinet by his bed. Kennedy now guards a copy of My New Order in a closet in his office, as if it were a grenade. Hitler's speeches from his early days up through the phony war of 1939 reveal his extraordinary ability as a master propagandist. Did your cousin John give you the Hitler speeches? I asked Trump. Trump hesitated. Who told you that? I don't remember. Actually, it was my friend Marty Davis from Paramount who gave me a copy of Mein Kampf, and he's a Jew. I did give him a book about Hitler, Marty Davis said, but it was My New Order, Hitler's speeches, not Mein Kampf. I thought he would find it interesting. I'm his friend, but I'm not Jewish. I swear this planet's fallen into a fucking wormhole. We came out in the comic book dimension. Really. I mean, I can't. It's just some of the things that people believe are true and act on. Like that Donald Trump belongs in the White House. There's somebody put a meme out. I think I shared it. This is funny as shit. And it's so right on. Hello, where'd my Facebook go now? Oh, I'm on it. I think I shared this after I got back tonight too, so it should be up high on the wall. Here it is. That's right, I shared it from the street while I was out. If you believe that someone is a billionaire without seeing their taxes, a genius if they hide their college grades, a great businessman if they bankrupted casinos, an irresistible ladies' man if they have to pay for sex, a philanthropist if their charity was shut down, a patriot if they dodged the draft, a Christian if they don't go to church, an innocent man if they refuse to testify, you're not just gullible, you're a Trump supporter. So now let's go find the Philly shooting. And let's go find the Philly shooting. Boy, I had by the time Google decided I was typing Philadelphia, it had shooting as the top hit. Okay, man accused of shooting sick. No, that's CNN. Fuck them. CNN, Billy Penn. Donald Trump. The Philadelphia shooter should never have been allowed to be on the streets. He had a long and very dangerous criminal record, looked like he was having a good time after his capture, and after wandering so many police, long sentence, must get much tougher on street crime. Meanwhile, twice as many people kill themselves with their guns than anything else, than any other way of dying with a gun. Ooh, what was that? That didn't sound good. Oh, that was my pills. This thing's cool. My doc prescribes now 150 milligrams of spironolactone. It's got a razor blade in the top, and you stick the thing in there and just splits it clean. I'm getting 150 milligrams of spironolactone, and you have they only come in 100 milligram tabs. Okay, so there's Trump going all fucking. I think I'd rather read CBS. All my life, pretty much, I've trusted CBS more than any of the other networks. For some reason, maybe it was Walter Cronkite and Ed Sullivan. Probably that was what it was. It was Walter Cronkite and Ed Sullivan. They made me like CBS. They gassed him out of there. He quit. He gave up. It was like 6 hours, several hours, 6 hours, something like that. And they took this guy alive, and he's black. Good for you, Philadelphia. And he didn't kill anybody; he just hurt him. They were trying to serve a narcotics warrant, and it went crazy quick. Oh well. Cost Philadelphia a lot of money, I'll bet. I think I've had enough. I wanted to go to bed by midnight, and it's after midnight now. I've been here an hour and a half. Thanks for coming, folks. Happy day. Bye.